Good evening, this is TCN English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Ninghui Kim Kong-sai. First, the headlines. No peace talks between the Kuki-Zo people and the Maydays, clarifies KIM. KSO General Headquarters seek transparency regarding Chief Minister's statement on negotiations between Kukis and Maydays. News in detail. The Kuki MP is utterly taken aback by the supposed peace talks held between the Kuki-Zo representatives and the Maydays. The Kuki MP, as the apex body of the Kukis, has no knowledge of any peace talk held between the Kuki-Zo people and the Maydays, as mentioned by Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh. In sharp contrast, the Kuki MP will remain committed to its resolve for a political boycott of the Manipur state government for orchestrating and perpetrating the persecutions against the Kuki-Zo people. The Manipur state government continues to utilize government machinery in its ruthless campaign against our people, inflicting untold damage. On that account, a supposed peace talk between the Kuki-Zo people and the Mayday can only be termed as overly optimistic. The Kuki-Zo people, who have been victims of the state-sponsored ethnic cleansing campaign of Manipur state government, cannot negotiate with our oppressors for justice and equality for our people. To that matter, a demand for union territory with legislature for Kuki-Zo people have long been forwarded to the government of India for constitutional course of action, and the Kuki-Zo people is only resolute to commit to the same until its fulfillment. The demand is legitimate as the only means for equality and justice for the Kuki-Zo people and the safeguarding of their rights and privileges as equal citizens of the country. Furthermore, any supposed peace talk or political negotiations without the knowledge of the Kuki MP and its constituent organizations is only illusionary. The Kuki MP and its constituent organizations are the only legitimate bodies to maneuver a way forward for the Kuki-Zo people. The Kuki Students' Organization General Headquarters reviewed the statement made by Chief Minister Biren Singh regarding talks between Kukis and Maydays on Wednesday. In its press release, the KSO General Headquarters said the Chief Minister Biren Singh on yesterday, stated that talks between the two communities, Kuki and Mayday, involved in the ongoing ethnic conflict have already started and peace has begun to return to the state. Pertinent to this, the KSO General Headquarters insists that the Chief Minister, CM, should disclose the precise details regarding the organizations or individual involved in the peace negotiation. If it's real, we seek transparency and accountability from the CM regarding these negotiations. Emphasizing the importance of truthfulness in revealing this information, the release further said, KSO General Headquarters is not aware and has no knowledge of any peace talks involving the Chief Minister or any Valley-based CSO. The CM once again did media stunts to save its skin from the center and the police in general. Till that, there has been no formal invitations from any government agencies regarding any negotiations for peace talks. The KSO emphasizes that the CM cannot assert such negotiations for peace talks without the involvement and presence of the central government and without the knowledge of Kuki CSOs. Furthermore, the narrative ethnic conflict is a misused term. This term is being used to conceal the government misdeeds. It is not an ethnic, rather, it's a conflict against the government of Manipur, who use its own radical groups to outlude and choke up the emotional and rational discontentment of Kuki-Zo people, which later on inevitably demanded a separate administration to safeguard their own existence, aided the release. In an address at the United Nations, Lelnun Fela Changte, leader of the Zo Reunification Organization, ZORO, advocated for the rights of the Zo indigenous peoples spread across Myanmar, India, and Bangladesh. Zangte, representing the Zo people, highlighted the challenges faced by ethnic Zo communities due to geopolitical divisions enforced during colonial times. The Zo peoples, scattered across borders imposed by colonial powers, are unjustly divided and denied their fundamental rights. Zangte stated, addressing the UN Assembly. He pointed out that ethnic classes in Manipur where violence and displacement have plagued minority hill tribes, forcing many to flee their homes. Zangte criticized India's plans to fence the Indo-Myanmar border, arguing it will further restrict the freedom of movement for the Zo communities, already struggling with internal conflicts and displacement. He stated that the urgent need for international support to address the worsening humanitarian crisis faced by Zo people, particularly those seeking refuge in Mizoram from neighboring Bangladesh and escalating tensions in the Chittagong hill tracts. Our people are under siege from multiple fronts: Bangladesh, Myanmar, Assam, and Manipur. Zangte said demanding immediate humanitarian aid and the recognition of Zo people's right to self-determination. With the news doing round in social media regarding arrests of some Arambai Tengal who were involved in extortion holding sophisticated guns which were looted from Imphal Armory last year, the Kuki Students Organization General Headquarters issued a press release yesterday demanding equal treatment to all citizens regardless of ethnicity. In its press release, the KSO General Headquarters said members of Arambai Tengal were apprehended yesterday, July 10, 2024 at Kakulong, Imphal by the civil police. The group were found in possession of illegal weapons including incest rifles and AK rifles, allegedly involved in extortion activities. They were promptly taken into custody and brought to the police stations in Imphal. The arrested individuals, identified as Bunket, Lenin, Rex, and 5 others, totaling 8 members, were apprehended alongside police department weapons at the scene of their activities. This incident highlights a serious breach of law and order affecting public safety. The release further said that the KSO General Headquarters demands for equal treatment for all citizens regardless of ethnicity and urges authorities to ensure justice is severely impartially. The recent incident involving the arrest of individuals with illegal arms demands swift and fair actions under the law. We also emphasize the need for unbiased legal proceedings in this matter. Every citizen deserves equal treatment under the law, irrespective of ethnic background. Furthermore, the KSO General Headquarters is concerned about recent statements and perceptions regarding selective enforcement and judicial processes. The cognition of justice cannot be blind to ethnicity or community affiliations. We urge the National Investigations Agency (NIA) to take cognizance of this case for thorough investigations, ensuring that all aspects of the law are rigorously upheld. The integrity of our justice system highlights upon its ability to deliver impartiality and fairness. We call upon authorities to demonstrate their commitment to the rule of law by handling this case transparently and without prejudice. The people of this trouble-torn state deserve nothing less than a legal system that operates in the spirit of equality and justice for all. The ex-serviceman league, Lamka branch, organized a career guidance seminar at Young Learner School, Zenhang Lamka, today at 10:30 a.m. The seminar aimed to guide students about career opportunities in the Indian Army. Resource persons including Colonel retired NZ Sitlo, Subedar retired Liana Kolni, and Naib Subedar retired NZ Lun Misao shared their experiences in science with the students. The seminar focused on joining the Army as an officer and highlighted various opportunities in the Indian Army, including the National Defense Academy exam (NDA), Combined Defense Services exam (CDS), Air Force Common Admission Test (AFCAT), and National Cadet Corps (NCC) entry. The speakers emphasized that students can join the Army through various exams, including the CDS exam, and undergo training at institutions like the Indian Military Academy, IMA, AFA, INA, and OTA. The seminar also covered the eligibility criteria, selections process, and benefits of joining the Indian Army. The ex-service mainly aims to guide students about career opportunities in the armed forces and motivate them to join the Indian Army, Indian Air Force, Indian Navy, and Indian Coast Guard. The Supreme Court on Wednesday, July 10, ruled that a divorced Muslim woman is eligible to maintain a petition under Section 125 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, CRPC, seeking maintenance from her estranged husband. The section deals with the maintenance of wives, children, and parents. A bench of Justice B.V. Nagaratna and Augustine George Massey was hearing a special leave petitions filed by a husband questioning the grant of interim maintenance of Rs 10,000 per month to his wife. Dismissing the petition, the bench observed that a divorced woman Muslim is not restricted from exercising her independent right of maintenance under the secular provisions of Section 125. The plea contended that given the Muslim Women Protections of Rights on Divorce Act 1986, a divorced Muslim woman is not entitled to maintain a 125 CRPC petitions and has to proceed under the provisions of 1986 Act. It added that the 1986 Act was more beneficial to a Muslim woman as compared to Section 125 of the CRPC. The husband pleaded that the lower courts did not consider the fact that the divorce certificate was issued in September 2017 in accordance with the personal laws and he was not obligated to pay maintenance on account of the divorce. However, Justice Nagaratna pointed out that the rights of Muslim women under the Muslim Women Protections of Rights on Divorce Act 1986 were in addition of that under CRPC Section 125. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday received the Order of Saint Andrew, the Apostle, the first called Russia's most prestigious civilian honor, from President Vladimir Putin during a ceremony at the Kremlin in Moscow. Putin presented the award to Modi in St. Andrew Hall at the Kremlin after the annual India-Russia summit, which was held after a gap of 2 years. The formal ceremony was held 5 years after Putin signed a decree conferring the award on Modi in 2019. The award recognizes Modi's outstanding contributions to developing the special and privileged strategic partnership between Russia and India and fostering friendly ties between the people of the two countries. Modi, the first Indian leader to receive the award, said in a post on X, "Honored to receive the Order of St. Andrew, the Apostle. I dedicate it to the people of India." While accepting the award, Modi also dedicated it to the traditional bonds of friendship between India and Russia. The recognition, he said, illuminates the special and privileged strategic partnership between the two sides. Established in 1698 by Sir Peter the Great in honor of St. Andrew, the first apostle of Jesus and patron saint of Russia, the Order of St. Andrew is awarded for the most outstanding civilian or military merit. In 2019, the Russian embassy in India announced that the decision to confer the award on Modi was made on April 12 that year. Earlier on Tuesday, Modi led a raid at the tomb of the unknown soldier at the wall of the Kremlin. The war memorial is dedicated to Soviet soldiers who died during the World War II. A solemn homage to the brave PM Narendra Modi laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Moscow, saluting valor, sacrifice, and indomitable human courage. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ranjit Jaiswal said on X. The red granite monument is decorated with a bronze sculpture of a laurel branch and a soldier's helmet laid on a banner. In front of it is a five-pointed star with the eternal flame at its center. The remains of unidentified Soviet soldiers killed in the Battle of Moscow in 1941 were initially buried in a mass grave at a site where German troops had made the closest approach to Moscow. The remains were relocated to the Kremlin Wall in 1966. The United States and its allies have agreed to provide additional air defenses to Ukraine following devastating Russian missile attacks Monday that killed at least 38 people across Ukraine and destroyed a Kyiv children's hospital. On the first day of a NATO summit in Washington, President Biden unveiled plans to provide Ukraine with dozens of tactical air defense systems to protect Ukrainian cities, including Patriot batteries and components and other advanced defense systems. I am grateful to our partners, the United States, Germany, the Netherlands, Italy, and Romania, for adopting a strong declarations in support of Ukraine's air defense system to protect its people, cities, and critical infrastructure. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a social media post as he joined the NATO summit. Russia's air terror against Ukraine, including yesterday's brutal strike on the children's hospital, must be met with unity and strength. The attack had also prompted Zelensky to request a lifting of restrictions on the use of U.S. weapons to strike targets on Russian territory that have put key air bases out of reach. Zelensky said his military needs to be able to hit Russia planes where they are housed and get rearmed with new missiles. The Biden administration so far is refusing to loosen those restrictions beyond allowing strikes in border areas where Russian forces are planning imminent attacks. According to Ukrainian authorities, 33 of 44 missiles were intercepted during Monday's attack. Those that penetrated the country's air defenses brought death and fiery havoc, including in Kyiv, where 2 people were killed at the augmented children's hospital, as well as in the cities of Dnipro and Kyiv. More than 70 people were wounded. In emotional testimony to the UN Security Council on Tuesday, the hospital's director, Volodymyr Zhovnir, described complete hell as ceilings collapsed and people screamed for help. At 10:42 a.m., we heard a powerful explosion. The ground shook and the walls trembled. Children and adults began to scream and cry from fear, Zhovnir said. 3 complex surgeries were being performed. Children were on IVs, on dialysis, and in intensive care. What happened put their lives at risk, Daria Gislo, Augmented's press officer, said in an interview with the Washington Post on Tuesday that when the first explosion hit, she immediately ran to the bomb shelter. Another deafening explosion then shook the ceiling on violently, so violently that Gislo said she thought it would collapse. She confronted an apocalyptic scene of billowing smoke, blown-out windows, and children covered in blood. I don't feel anything except for absolute horror, she said, her voice cracking. To hit a place where children are healing. I couldn't believe that they had actually shelled the biggest children's hospital in Ukraine. The barrage occurred just a day before the NATO leaders gathered, although the United States and some other NATO countries have refused to fast-track membership in the alliance for Ukraine. Many have signed bilateral security agreements with Kyiv promising ongoing aid. Poland will not comply with Ukraine's request to shoot down Russian missiles heading for western Ukraine without a decision by the entire NATO, Polish Defense Minister Ladislaw Konyzhak-Kamysz said on July 10. Earlier this year, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in an interview with Reuters that Western allies, including Poland, could intervene more directly in Ukraine's defense by shooting down Russian missiles. In response, the Polish defense minister told the police radio that Poland could not make any decisions on this matter on its own, and that this decision must be made by all of NATO. He also referred to the US position of not wanting to escalate the conflict with Russia. Poland can only independently decide to shoot down missiles over Polish airspace. Earlier this year, a Russian missile entered Polish airspace during a massive aerial attack launched against Ukraine. The missile remained in Polish air for 39 seconds, according to Polish Foreign Ministry spokesperson Paweł Wronski. The Polish government has been discussing the legal ramifications of shooting down Russian missiles since this incident. President Zelensky met with Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk this week to sign a security agreement to further develop political, military, and economic cooperations between the two countries and cooperate closely in the reconstruction of Ukraine as a sovereign and democratic state. US President Joe Biden affirmed full support for Ukraine and exuded confidence that the country can and will stop Russian President Vladimir Putin's aggressions as he welcomed NATO member states to a Washington summit on Tuesday. This came as Biden, 81, endured 12 days of withering questions about his fitness for office as some of his fellow Democrats on Capitol Hill after his dismal debate performance against former President Donald Trump on June 27. In Europe, Putin's war of aggressions against Ukraine continues, and Putin wants nothing less than Ukraine's total subjugation and to wipe Ukraine off the map. But make no mistake, Ukraine can't and will stop Putin, especially with our full collective support, and they have our all full support, he said in his welcoming speech to NATO member states at the summit. He also announced a historic donations of air defense equipment for Ukraine. The United States, Germany, the Netherlands, Romania, and Italy will provide Ukraine with the equipment for 5 additional strategic air defense systems. And in the coming months, the United States and our partners intend to provide Ukraine with dozens of additional tactical air defense systems. The United States will make sure that when we export critical air defense interceptors, Ukraine goes to the front of the line, he said. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky urged US political leaders in Washington to not wait for the outcome of the upcoming November elections to move forcefully to aid his country against Russia's invasion. It is time to step out of the shadows, to make strong decisions, to act, and not to wait for November or any other month, he said at the Ronald Reagan Institute on the eve of the NATO summit. He further said he could not predict Trump's actions. If he regains the US presidency in November, Zelensky hoped Trump would not quit the 75-year-old NATO alliance and that America would keep supporting Ukraine in its defense against Russia's more than 2-year-old invasion. I don't know him very well, he said of Trump, adding he had good meetings with him during Trump's first presidency but said that it was before Russia's 2022 invasion. Trump, the presumptive Republican nominee for the U.S. presidential elections in November, has frequently criticized the size of U.S. military support for Ukraine, some $60 billion since Russia's full-scale invasions in 2022, and called Zelensky the greatest salesman ever during the presidential debate on June 27. Two of his national security advisors have presented Trump with a plan to end U.S. military aid to Ukraine unless it opens talks with Russia to end the conflict. The Ukrainian president said his country needs a minimum of 7 Patriot systems, a goal met by the first deliveries announced on Tuesday. We are fighting for additional security guarantees for Ukraine, and these are weapons and finances, political support, he said on social media. Meanwhile, White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said NATO will announce in the coming days a new military command in Germany, led by a 3-star general for training and equipping Ukrainian troops, and appoint a senior representative in Kyiv to deepen Ukraine's relationship with the alliance. Biden and Zelensky are scheduled to meet in November. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.